But we're not gonna do all of that, right?
No, not all of them. Just 5
Okay.
minutes. All right. So, what was the uniform policy in Korea? How did it compare to the uniform policy in the States?
Most of the Korean high school has very strict uniform. It's not just like any polo. We have like actual uniform that you have to wear. So there is like place that you have to buy, like you tell them what school you're from, then they'll give you like what uniform and then asking size. So we have like one whole thing for winter and fall, and then we have like summer and spring. So usually nowadays we have like options for girls to wear skirts or pants. But back then when I went to high school and middle school, so it's for both middle school and high school. Usually elementary school no uniform policy unless it's a private, but it's usually jacket, shirts, and then there is a vest inside and a skirt. And then there is like gym clothing like separately.
Yeah.
So it's like color coded, so you know what school you go to like by just looking at their uniform. So it was very strict, and then everyone has to follow.
Yeah.
If you don't wear it, you're in trouble.
All right, nice. So compared to the States, it's much more strict comparatively.
Yeah.
Okay. What grade did you finish before coming to the States?
I went to college for a year.
Okay.
So I finished all my grade school there, and then I spent a year in college too.
All right. What subject came easiest to you within Korea, and did that change when you got into the States exactly?
I think in my case, since I like math back then, and then I also like math even more because when I first moved, I wasn't really fluent in English. So since math is a universal language, so I wasn't even good at it, like because the math education that I received was higher than my grade level here. So it made me more like math as I moved to the States because of that.
Yeah, so it made it easier for you to actually like translate that.
Even though I didn't know all the terms, but still like I could guess what it is, and then I can look for it, and then it's like my language of like vocab of Korean transferred into English as I study.
Very nice. All right. Were you given a chance to explore classes that related to your career goal when you enrolled in college?
In Korea? I wish there was a more chance for us to like explore more, because it was more academic. It was more about the grade, so, and also about the school name value. So instead of like you go into more like interested area, if the school value is higher than like school name has a value in it, then sometimes my friends choose to go to that school even though they didn't get into for whatever the major that they want to major in. So I don't think we have enough chance to do that as a high school student.
Do you believe that changed for many students here compared to Korea?
What do you mean?
Like, are we given more options to explore?
Like here?
Yeah, different careers.
I think so, but still, I think the high school in general is pretty early age for us to like determine our future. So even if like you don't get to choose like right away like what you're going to really study for it, I think it's totally fine as I'm becoming like older. But if you can decide at early age, it's definitely a plus. But I think instead of like learning in the classroom, I think it should be like experienced, like by going places, like meeting with the actual people who's in that field, instead of like only like learn it from each classrooms. Yeah.
Well, the final question: what was the biggest draw of ECHS, and what exactly would you change about it to make it better, if you would change it?
In perspective of students, like as a student.
Yeah, as a student, as a teacher, wherever you may see it.
What we can improve?
Yeah, what we can improve, and what would you bring in from like a school in Korea if like you would bring in anything?
I don't know if this is something that we can like change right away, but I think it definitely, and it's also like financial related issue. I think we should have more spaces for many different reasons, and not only for sports. Like I know like a lot of students were complaining about us not having all the thing, but still like having a more spaces and more environment, like more spaces, meaning like we will have more environmental friendly like area. So eventually I think our school wants to grow more, so that we can have like more students, more spaces, more learning places, and then like library. Definitely we have to like give up on it because of the limited spaces that we need to have. And then something that we don't have but other public schools are having it. I think we are very limited of the resources, although out of those limited resources I think we're doing a very good job, but still eventually I want to see our school grow more.
Thank you very much. That was amazing.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you.